working. B-side 5, B-side 5.
B-side 5. Welcome to the Developmental Focus Point. I'm your host, Bo Scarbrough, former Alabama running back, two-time national champion. Is with me are my two co-hosts, Blake Sam and Justin Riley. And I'm going to pass it over to Blake to introduce our guest tonight.
Tonight, man, we have a special woman, for sure, a special woman to me that has been with me through my whole journey, has been an amazing woman, a strong woman that has taught me a lot of things of the fundamental of being a strong man and being and holding your word and being the man that you're supposed to be. And a lot of a lot of my character come from her and just the man that she wanted me to be. And that's my lovely mother, Bernice Dorsey.
Hey. Woo, what's up? Glad to have you with us.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide.
Hello,
Roll Tide.
I'm excited to finally get a parent on here to get the parents' perspective. You know, we were talking a little bit earlier before we jumped on. No one's ever done this before. So we get to see a whole nother side of the game that no one really talks about, but needs to be brought to the light.
Yes.
No, for sure. Mom, let's start off with have you ever, before you blessed me with bringing me onto this earth, have you ever watched football before?
No, not one time.
Not
really?
one.
I remember before I started watching football, I was watching my oldest brother. He was looking at a football game, and when they scored a touchdown, I called a touchdown a home run. So,
Nice.
Hey, it is a home run.
It kind of is in a way.
I was there, but I wasn't quite there.
You were there. You were there.
And I didn't
Touchdown, home run, same thing.
Right. So I didn't know anything about football. When I first started getting into football, that's when my son went to Cartersville, And Blake, he at the age of 5 years old, that's when Blake first touched his first football. He was the first black kid that entered Michael Vick's training camp.
Oh, wow.
At the age of 5. And we pushed Blake hard, and he started, gaining the love of football at the age of 5. He would come home from school, before he even started doing his homework. He would go run and get the football, and he want to go out in the backyard, and he want to throw to the point where he got his little sisters out there throwing the football with him.
All right.
So he always had the love of football, and he started at a very early age up until he turned 32 when he retired.
That's what's up.
So, Mom, my next question to you is these days, some people speak on being hard, like not being too hard or being hard enough on their kids to show them the toughness and to just teach them, how was you willing to listen to other men and other people to help you guide me through my journey of things that I didn't know that was to come?
Okay. First of all, I didn't need to listen to anybody else when it came down to my son. I know my son. I know my son's worth. I know his capability. I know his talent. I know his hunger. I know his love for God. And we've always taught Blake from he can remember so far, always put God first and the rest shall follow. Blake has been told many, many of times that he wouldn't be nobody. He wouldn't be nothing. He was told that he would never be the starting quarterback for the University of Alabama. He was always told that he would never make it to the pros. I've always told him, and he would come home and he would be a little down. He would go to his room, and and I would always ask Blake every day how his day was. you know, what happened, you know, and all of a sudden, Mom, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. No, we're going to talk about it. You know, we're going to talk about it. So Blake has always been his own boss. You get what I'm saying? He's always been his own leader. He don't listen to Blake have took so much criticism and downfall from people to where it pushed him to be the man that he is today. And Blake, when he was told that he would never be the starting quarterback, that Jay Coker, they was bringing him in to be the starter, Blake said, "You know what, Mom? I'm gonna prove him wrong. I'm gonna prove everybody wrong." And he went out there and he competed. And I told Blake right before he went on the field, "You got this. Just focus. You know your worth. Pray." And he went out there and he won that starting position. And he took Alabama to a place where Alabama has never been before. And I am extremely, extremely proud. You know, it's not about, you know, these days to me, guys, it's not about making it to the NFL, making millions and millions of dollars, shining on the TV stream. You know what I'm saying? Right now, today, Blake Sim name still rings, and it still rings to this very day. And that was
Absolutely.
2014 when he left Alabama. He can go to Alabama right now, and he still get the same love and support that he did when he was there. All over the world, all over the nation, everywhere Blake goes, people know him and they love him. Blake is such a well, respectful, honorable, loving young man. And Blake never put himself first. He always put everybody before him. He's a team leader. And that's what Nick Saban saw in him. And that's what Nick Saban really loved about Blake. He know how to take criticism. Yeah, of course, he know how to give it too now. But at the end of the day, guys, I like I said, for me, it's not about money, because the man that Blake is today, it's more than business and billions of dollars to me as a mother.
Right.
You know, so I just thank God, and I thank God each and every day for my son, and you know, blessing me to birth such a great, talented, God-given young man like Blake.
Amen. Amen. I do want to kind of rewind it back to when the offers started pouring in. Of course, Blake didn't have the distractions that the modern day athlete with NIL and a lot of the accolades that are now being put on football. It's more like sports entertainment now rather than sports. And how was it for you trying to keep him grounded when all of a sudden he goes from just Blake, high school football player, to getting love, getting noticed from colleges all over the nation?
It blew my mind. It blew my mind because I never experienced such a blessing, you know. And when Blake first got the call, and he told me that Nick Saban was coming down to the house to, you know, speak with the family, you know, they want to recruit him. And I'm like, Nick Saban's like, who is that? You know, whatever. But once Nick Saban got here, you know, and started explaining everything, and, you know, and telling us how, you know, much he wants Blake there, you know, how talented Blake was. And Blake sat there, you know, and his agent, you know, Nick Saban's, myself, his father, all us, we sat there. And when Blake first picked up the pen to sign his signature, tears of joy just started rolling down my face, because I know a superstar was born. Okay. Right to this day, I still can't get in my brain why he's not in the NFL. But you know what? I don't second question God about why he's not in the NFL, because everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
Every great person, every great football player is not in the league. Okay?
Great point.
So that means that God had something else that he wanted Blake to do, like what Blake is doing now. Blake is a football coach at a Christian academy school. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Is a mentor. Blake is a mentor speaker, you know. So Blake has multiple talents behind football that God is blessing him with right now. And he's like he's just blooming like every day. And I'm proud of him.
Well, my next question to you is, growing up, you always talked about being humble and let other people talk. So if you had a mother right now in front of you, probably not very financial, or they are very financial well being, what would be your advice to them going through this recruiting process and also making their way to the NFL? I mean, making their way to college.
You know, you got to, first of all, as a parent, the parent has to be humble, first of all, in order to humble the child.
Right.
Okay? You always, no matter what, you know, you have to listen to your child. Even though you're the parent, you're the adult, you might think you know everything, you know what's best for your child. You have to sit down and you have to listen to your child, and you have to pay attention to their wants and their needs, because at the end of the day, this is his career and this is his life. You know, I'm just that loving parent that's going to back him up 100% no matter what. So it's all about listening to your child. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Every day they come home, pay attention to their moves, pay attention to their swings, pay attention, ask them how their day went. You know, try to get involved with what they're doing. Just don't throw them out there and, you know, turn the cheek the other way. Like you have to pay attention when it's something so genuine and valuable like that. Like, you really have to pay attention to your kid.
No
You got,
doubt.
oh,
What'd you say, Blake?
so you got anything?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how was the recruiting process for you with dealing with different coaches and on different teams? I know, like, he was a highly recruited guy. I just want to know, what was the process like for you, from talking from to Nick Saban and maybe talking to Georgia or different schools. I know it was an eye opening and something like joy and happy about. But what was the process like for you as a parent, going through the process with your son as a
Yeah.
recruiter?
The process, like I said, it was plenty butterflies and plenty sleepless nights, and and constantly thinking about Blake and his well-being 24/7. Blake would get calls. He would pick up the phone and he called me. He was like, "I just got a call from Tampa Bay. They want me to come out and work out." Okay, he goes to Tampa Bay. Do the workout. You know, Everything goes there. Then we go. We got the Falcons coming in. Calling him. Then every call that he gets has always been joy for me. Whether he stays on the team or whether he goes and tries out and turn around and come back, I have always praised God. And
Mm.
for some reason, God kept Blake on 10 toes, and I always kept his mind and his health, you know, on 10. You know, um, and Blake, he never, you know, oh, I didn't make Tampa Bay. Ooh, I'm down. I'm down. He kept it moving. He kept it moving. He kept the speed going. He kept grinding. He grinding. Blake always say, I would never give up. So he went from team to team to team until he went to Canada. Okay, when he went to Canada,
Talking about college, man.
okay.
Like when Coach Saban and Lane Kiffin and all them, when they came to the house and sat in the living room, like, what was your mind? What was your mindset, and like, how was you looking at these coaches with like trusting them for me to be with them the next 4 years? That's what Bo asking.
Oh, okay, okay, gotcha. Sorry about that, guys.
You're
Okay.
like,
No, that's still pretty good info though.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I ready to hear what she
I
finna say.
know that.
I was tuned in, like, okay.
First day I met Nick Savings. It was like we've been knowing each other forever. Like we
Mm,
we clicked like pretty much me and Nick Savings, we was pretty much like best friends. You know what I'm saying? Like every
okay.
time we see each other, we was always happy to see each other. He would always tell me, Blake fuck ups or his things and stuff like that. We talk, what I'm saying? Even though I never had a long time to sit and speak with him and stuff. But I remember when Blake first went to Alabama, they invited the team and the moms out to the home for brunch.
Coach Saban house.
Yeah, Coach Saban house for brunch, and oh man, the love, it was just amazing, guys. Like I've never experienced nothing like that in my life, and that's when I knew that Alabama was the school for Blake. Because at that time, they was trying to get him in Tennessee and get him to a couple of schools, but once we went down there and we talked to Lane Kiffin and Coach Savings, we knew Alabama was the home for Blake Sims.
Nice.
Really.
Amen. To kind of piggyback off of that, I know a lot of athletes don't have the luxury of someone who can discern for them and really look out for their best interests and be their eyes and ears. So, as the parade of coaches came through your home, how were you able to really discern who was genuine other than Nick Saban? You did a great job of explaining how that relationship was. But
Yeah.
how were you able to really way past all the used car sales pitches and see who the coach really was that was coming into your home pursuing your son?
Well, actually, we've talked to a couple of colleges and a couple of coaches, and the the hunger, the hunger for my son, his worth, his value. I just didn't. It's just when I just wasn't getting it. And it was a big difference between Georgia, Tennessee, um,
Alabama, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, West Virginia and all them schools. You know what I'm saying? It's just something about Alabama that touched home with me. And we didn't have too much time to shop around, because everybody was putting that Blake.
Mm.
Everybody putting that Blake. And we didn't have much time to shop around. So at the end of the day, when I went back to it's all about, you got to listen to your child. And you know what I'm saying? And you got to pretty much follow his lead to a certain extent. And then when we sat down and we asked Blake, um, you know, which way you want to go, which college you want to go to. So Blake was like, okay, I'm gonna sleep on it. I'm gonna sleep on it. So I remember that Friday, at Gainesville High School. What was that, Blake? When you signed,
The letter of intent.
yeah, the letter of intent. They held it in the hallway, and everybody was there. The whole family was there and stuff like that. And we didn't know which hat Blake was going to really put on
Mm.
because I said that night he said he was going to still sleep on it. So that very next morning, when Blake went up on the table and he pulled that Alabama cap and he placed it on his head, I just felt like I was going to pass out. I was the most happiest mother in the world because that's where I wanted my son to be at the University of Alabama.
Well,
That's
Marlon,
awesome.
let me ask you this. So you in the stands. You in the stands with the fans, and maybe some people didn't notice that you was my mother, right?
Right.
So, and then
Oh,
like, the main thing we talk about is athletes moving right, saying the right things on social media
Mm-hmm.
because that's your marketing. So,
Mm-hmm.
like you'll probably hear a fan say Blake sucks or do we have another quarterback? How was you able to keep her cool and also think of me and know like this is my son's marketing? And so how was you able to condone yourself and still have me in your mind and not like go up somebody's head. Because if anybody knows you, they'll know that like when it comes to family, you just don't play and you don't care what the consequences is.
Mhm. Okay. As far as that's concerned, like I say, it's a time and a place for everything. This is your career. This is your livelihood. This is what you love. And I am your number one biggest fan. So that wasn't the time and the place to turn up or get heated or cuss people out. Only thing I did, I just turned around and I just smiled at them, and I just let, because everybody has their opinion. You know what I'm saying? People say what they say just because they say, oh, Blake Sims sucks, we need another quarterback in. I just look at them and I just smile, because there's no reason to be nasty and negative, because at the end of the day, me as a parent, I know it's not true. So why get upset about something that you know is not true? It's time consistent. It's going to take time, like it took time for them to start believing in Blake. And when Blake started running up numbers and winning all the games, then all of a sudden everybody is a Blake Sims fan, but everybody wasn't first. So that's the same thing you have to do as a loving parent. And I'm not there to bash him and embarrass him, because everybody is already, you know, booing him and all that kind of stuff. Me as a parent, I'm there to uplift everybody and to prove everybody wrong, because at the end of the day, Blake Sims got the last laugh. You don't have to do all that.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
My next question to you is like Bo, you call Bo your son, you call Trent your son, you call Christian, and all my friends from the University of Alabama. Sometimes you come through players that lost their mother or don't have a mother in their life, or of any sort. What how does that make you feel to become a mother figure or take these young men? Because I know coming from college, like I used to have a car full of guys, and you like, man, let me go to the grocery store, let me whip it up. Like, how did like an athletic mother wouldn't understand that? You know what I'm saying? So can you break it down for the people listening, like how important that is and how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel great. It makes me feel fantastic. Um, like I say, I have a huge family of football players, and everybody calls me Ma Dukes. I am the GOAT.
I like that.
And um, everybody that not everybody that comes into contact with Blake or that's good friends with Blake, the whole team, the whole University of Alabama is what I love. Not just the football players, not just Blake. I love the whole University of Alabama. From the dirt on the ground to the gravel to the flowers. I love the whole University of Alabama. And the football players, they are so loving, and they are so as one, and they are one big brotherhood. Like to this very day, it's been over 10 years since the last time they was on the field at Alabama, and right to this very day, Bo, Blake, Christian, Trent, Leon, all of them, they still, here. They still here, and they would, Blake be like, Mom, we on our way home. And I just tell Blake, I said, nobody have to stay at no hotel. Everybody come to the house. And I cook food for everybody, and we just get to the house, and they just, when you come to Atlanta, if you get a hotel, I would be very upset with you. You come to Atlanta, you got to come stay at my dude's house.
That's what's
all,
up.
all of my babies, yeah.
So
Man,
we got a question from Regina. She said, "How did you feel seeing this Saban chew your son up and see him hang his head low? We as parents think that the only one who should do that is us. And what we did to you, and what we did, you tell him to chill."
Actually, I love it. I love it. When my first time, when I was at the game and I was sitting in the stand and I saw Blake did a mess up, and Nick Saban was cussing him so bad he turned burgundy in the face, and I actually smiled and I applaud Nick Savings for that, because Nick Savings would do something that I probably would never do. And you call that tough love. And he showed him that tough love, and that got Blake to where he is today.
That's a great question.
Oh, oh,
Mm.
oh, that's called.
What was that aha moment for you when you know that, Blake's time had finally arrived? Was there a particular game? Was there a particular instance? Maybe even a phone conversation? When was
It
that
was,
moment for you?
oh Lord, it was that SEC game, baby.
Oh, yes, man. I
Ooh,
remember that game well.
and
Talk about it.
when Shane Ray hit Blake so hard and knocked Blake 1,000 feet in the air. Woo! When I tell y'all, baby, I wanted to leap across that fence. I wanted to run out there, but I had to stay humble. I
Yeah,
had to stay humble, and so that was that time, that particular game right there. I don't think I never ever experienced another game like that. And every other game after that Blake played, I knew he had it. I knew he was going to go out there and do a great job. And something Blake would do probably every hour before the game, he would call me, FaceTime me, and we would pray. Okay?
for real.
Every
Mm.
game we would pray. You got to get that prayer in. And when I tell you guys, every single time that we played, Alabama won.
We prayed. We met one time that year, and that was against Ole Miss.
Yeah, and that's when we lost for the championship. And speaking on that game right there, I was there. I was up in the nosebleed. I was up there, and even though we lost to Ole Miss and we didn't go to the championship, you know what I'm saying? Blake, he took he took it so hard, guys, to where I broke down crying. And the reason why I broke down crying, because I wasn't saying anything. I was proud of Blake, because Blake took accountability for the whole game. He took the blame for the whole game, and I tried to
Mm.
explain. I tried to explain to Blake to give him to feel better or whatever. Like, you can't play the whole game by yourself. You did your job. You did a great job. And we, and the game is over, and we leaving and stuff like that, and I'm walking out the games, and when I'm at the games, you gonna know I'm Blake Sims' mama, because I got Blake everywhere. I, I'm talking about from
That's
head to toe. And people walking up behind me, your son sucks and your son sucks, and I just look at them, because I'm not there to start trouble. My mindset, I'm trying to get to the huddle or the fence. I'm trying to get to my son. I'm trying to still make sure that he good. I'm not worrying about what people saying, because like I said once before, I know his capability and what he's worth.
you talked about talking with him before games, spending time in prayer. Was there like a network forum with the other parents of players where y'all got together and formed maybe a accountability circle, maybe a prayer circle, where y'all just spent time talking with each other? Does that happen with the other parents on the
No,
team?
no, it was just me and Blake. Every time it was just me and Blake. Never heard of anyone. Never heard of anyone praying or want to get a prayer team together or anything at that time. I was just concerned about Blake, because Blake was the leader. Blake was, the captain. You know what I'm saying? Without Blake, it wouldn't have been, you know.
For sure.
Yeah. So my mindset was just, to make sure that my son was good before, he ran out there on that field. And we prayed not only for Blake, we prayed for the coaches, the staff, the fans, the stadium, the weather. I mean, from sun up to sundown, we prayed
Yeah.
for everything. Yes.
We got a question from the audience. Jackie Harrison, what was the football player's favorite meal that you cooked?
Spaghetti.
That's spaghetti. Oh, that's
Spaghetti.
turkey.
I check this out though. I do the spaghetti. You know, we have the spaghetti, corn, garlic bread, something like that. Then, you know what I'm saying? Blake, you know what I'm saying? He got to step in and do his little famous rotel dip.
What?
You know?
Blake's got skills like that.
Come on, man. Hey, I'm burning in the kitchen now. I ain't gonna go crazy. I'm gonna get you fed.
Oh, you say you burn the kitchen?
I said,
See, that's what more along the line with what I was thinking about when he was talking about.
I thought it sounded like you said you burn the kitchen.
He did too.
I said burn, but I ain't go crazy.
He's very good on the grill, and he can make some awesome rotel, guys.
No, for sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because you showing Dallas making that rotel too. And you did make that rotel like that too.
Crazy.
Yeah, you did. That's about the only thing you made.
Yeah.
Anything else, we'll pull that green paper out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think how bad.
Hey, Regina's got another question for you. What was the best game Blake played that kept you on your feet, yelling and cheering the whole time?
LSU game.
Ooh, good game.
LSU game. Oh my God. LSU game. You guys don't know what I went through. I went through tornado storms, hurricanes. They want to jump on me. They wanted to knock me down. Oh man, I got abused at the LSU. Oh guys. That was I was up the whole time. Like I couldn't even talk. That was one game where I really had to defend myself. You know, they was, you know, because I'm so proud of Blake. I'm so proud of the whole team. I'm turning up and they, you know, it's more LSU fan than it is Alabama fans. And I'm walking through the stadium. I'm trying to, you know, get out and stuff like that. And I'm so excited. And I got Blake name all on me. They cussing me out. They calling me names. They telling me we suck and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, of course, I had a couple of beers, you know, so I was a little
just
late.
a few. Yeah, you know, had a little communion, you know.
I'm enjoying myself. I'm a proud parent.
Yeah.
My son just beat LSU, you know.
That was a signature win, I think. That was an incredible game.
I didn't realize where I was. You're not in Alabama. Calm down. You know, calm down. You know, so
I got a couple questions that you gotta the first answer come to your mind, you gotta answer. You gotta be quick on your feet. You ready for this?
I like this.
Okay. Who's your favorite NFL quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, that's crazy. If you play football, what position would you play?
Quarterback.
What would be your number?
6.
Who would be your favorite wide receiver to throw to?
Mark Cooper.
I knew that.
Would you rather play for Lane Kiffin or Nick Saban?
Lane Kiffin.
Oh, can you go in depth about that one?
Yeah,
please. I don't mean to stop your flow, Blake, but that's a great answer. I'd like to hear the why behind that.
Yeah, why Lane Kiffin over Nick Saban?
The reason why I would go with Lane Kiffin because I pretty much grew up with Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin was taught by one of the best coaches in history, which is Nick Saban. You know, no shame to Nick Saban. I love him. I love him dearly. He knows I do. But Lane Kiffin was pretty much raised by Nick Saban, if we want to keep it real. I have saw Lane Kiffin. We would go down there. We would go in the weight room. You know, we would walk around with Lane Kiffin, and you know, he's always spoke very, very highly of Blake. You know, even after Blake stopped playing, you know, football, he has talked with Lane Kiffin a couple of times about coming down, you know, joining, you know, the team. I mean, you know, like coaching or something like that. So I've always thought. And Lane Kiffin is a very, very, very good coach, and I admire him a lot. And I just think that, you know what I'm saying, he deserves a chance just like every other great football coach.
I like that. That's cool. That's cool. So, what is the funniest moment you can remember of Blake's playing career? It can be at Alabama. It can be during high school. Do you have one of those little moments that maybe fans don't know about and would definitely love to hear?
Yeah, we were.
Pick the right one.
He's scared.
I saw him turn that burgundy color you were talking about.
Yeah. Actually, guys, really be honest with you, every game has been epic.
Well, you've been around Nick Saban, girl.
You got some saving in you.
Yeah, every game has been epic. I really, to be honest with you, and I'm not saying this to be saying, I really don't have anything to. I really can't address that answer, because there's nothing clicking here.
Okay.
Every moment has been a great moment.
So, Mom, let me ask you this. So we all got the time to where we know we get our first start, then we got that moment where we like, I'm known. I'm that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like we all got that moment. You feel me?
That. Yeah.
When was that moment for you where you was like, maybe a fan, like you in line and you probably ordered like $15 worth of food and the fan was like, no, I'll take care of it. That's Blake Sims' mom, or anything like that. When was you like, son, you ain't little Blake no more. You somebody, like you got eyes on you. When did you have that moment?
I got that moment when you became the starting quarterback for the University of Alabama.
Like what happened? Like was it with a fan, with a fan, or was it just like
we was at the game? We was at the game, and that was your first game you was starting. And I stepped when I first walked in the door, the ticket holder, she saw your name and number on my jersey. And she looked at me and she was like, "Are you Blake Sims' mother?" And I said, "Yes, I am." She was like, "Baby." And I tell that boy look just like you. That boy look, so that's how a lot of people knew that I was Blake Sims' mother, not just because of the number or anything like that. And I would have fans to be like, at first when Blake first game, they weren't so all of a, son of Blake Sims fan. They had to fill him out. They had to see was he gonna be that GOAT or whatever. But I think after the third game, that's when I started noticing that Blake Sims is somebody. He's always been somebody to me, but he's somebody to the fans now because these are the same people that were saying that he wasn't going to be that guy.
right?
And everybody was patting me on the back, and I looked around and I saw so many people cheering him on, and just loving him, and and it was just it was a great moment. So that's when I finally realized, I think after the third game of him starting, that's when I really recognized, that he was that guy.
I got a question for you. What was one of your favorite plays from Blake?
What was
I can tell you my favorite play. I'm gonna tell you my favorite play first and give you a little time to think. I know you got a lot of
one.
So my favorite play of Blake is when he threw that touchdown to Kenyon Drake against Florida.
Ooh.
That's when I knew
Broke that game open.
Yeah, and he ran a little bit that game as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that was now like hell fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that was my favorite too.
I had just talked to you. I think like that summer. You remember in the training room when you had that tank top on? You like, cuz
for the game too.
Yeah. And it was that crazy because we had that conversation. And then you get started. I was like, this dude, he talking about he want like, how you trying to go somewhere you started? Like, I didn't know the situation, But that was my time that I had with Blake, and one of my favorite plays that I had with Blake. So I just wanted to know yours.
My favorite time with Blake, and Blake, you're gonna have to help me with that team because it's been so long ago. You remember when You was getting ready to you hiked the ball and you was getting ready to throw it and you tucked it and you
Oh, I can tell you that Texas A&M.
Yes, that was what I was going to
oh my God.
say.
I lost it. That's when we started calling him the snake.
When he's been look.
When he the
Yeah.
nickname, hey, oh my God, that's the most
Takes-
right to this very day I still watch that play. Yes, that's my favorite one.
That's a great play.
Did those A&M defenders have ankle insurance, Blake?
Man, I hope so. I still ain't got my claim. I'm working on my claim. Hey, you know what's crazy? So when I was in Frisco last year, we used to practice at the sports academy. That's what we would practice. And I seen, and after all these years, I ain't never seen Miles Garrett. But when I see him, man, I got the biggest smile ever. Cause you know when you do the draft, you know they start off with the bat. I mean they speak very highly of you, and then later on when they can sneak it up under the rug real quick, they bring out your bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Miles Garrett had one bad play on his highlight, and that was your boy. Happy about it. So I walked up to him, I said, man, what's up? He was like, what's up, Blake? I was like, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, every picture I see of you on Google or anytime I see you on TV, bro, you're not smiling, bro. So when I thought I'd meet you, whenever I met you in my life, I thought you were gonna cuss me out because I was the only bad play when you got drafted. And he was like, man, when I seen that, I was mad. He was like, Blake, I hated you for a minute, man, but he's like, I'm passing now. We good. I was like, yeah, and I don't play quarterback no more. I play running. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Speaking of the NFL, of course, when he was done with college, what was during the whole draft process, pro day, combine, and just the whole experience like? I know it's tough as Blake was waiting for that phone call to come, and it didn't come in the way he'd expected it. But for you, what was that like?
It was very touching, because I knew how bad he wanted it. I knew how hard he worked for it. I knew how much he deserved it. You know what I'm saying? We just could not get the answer why. You know what I'm saying? And it was very emotional for me, because he took it pretty hard because he wanted it real bad, and this is something that we just knew was about to happen. I mean, we threw this big celebration at a church, with the big stream, and we had family, we had food, we was just sitting there, and his agent kept calling him, saying what is the Jaguar Jets.
Oh, the Jaguars.
Jaguars. So they was telling Blake, get ready, Blake, get ready, get ready. So when they got to the Jaguars, they didn't call his name.
Oh, it's the Eagles. I'm sorry, it's the Eagles.
Eagles.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. They didn't call his name. It was in a gym. That's what we were holding the celebration. It was in a gym, and I never forget. They didn't call his name. Blake got up. Where he got this basketball from, I don't know. He picked that basketball up. He threw it from one end to the gym, all the way to the other end of the gym, and he just broke out running. We went running behind him, and I just told everybody to stop. Let him have his moment. Let him have his moment. So he was upset for a little while, but then all of a sudden, Blake was like, "It's all good. I'm gonna keep going at it. I'm never giving up. I got this. I'm gonna do this." And that's why I always say Blake is a very, 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 very strong young man. And it's not all about what people think you should be or what people think you should have or what people think you should have done, or it's not for them to wonder. You know, it's all about God and Blake. Long as God is satisfied, long as Blake understand his purpose here on earth, what he brought him here to do. It might not have been to be a professional football player. I think Blake calling is mentor speaking and coaching. He's an awesome coach. When it come down to kids,
Mm.
it's not one kid that Blake meet that don't love him. And at the Christian Academy School he's working at, Mount Bethel, every kid in that school, from the pastor to the staff to the kids to the parents, everybody honors him. And I think that's Blake's calling from God. He might not be rich in the wallet, but he's very rich in spirit.
There you go.
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And when you rich in spirit like that, God every God moves everything. And a lot of people need to understand that.
Well, you moved me in my chair.
Hey, rich and a powerful testimony, because not everybody has that strength that Blake did, and that's one of the things that I admire the most about him. That where the modern day athlete would have quit way before they experienced all that Blake did, even before it's even a thought.
Mm-hmm.
He endured so many great trials, but he kept coming. He kept
Yeah.
coming,
Mm-hmm.
never stopped. Position changes. How many Blake? What, 5?
Yeah, 5.
Man, people, that would have broke most people. But
Mm-hmm.
God said, I have a plan for you. And it was on the biggest stage of them all, his senior year, man. And he made the whole nation stop and say, that's Blake Sims.
Yeah.
But,
Man.
And,
hey,
and another thing that really touched me when my son made Sports Illustrated.
Yes,
My cover of
I
Sports.
have that.
appreciate it. That's
That one right
respect.
there.
No,
That's
for
what's
sure.
up.
So,
Yeah.
Mom, I want you to turn the camera somewhere where you can get a lot of space. Show them how when I was little and when I was in college, I messed up on my play fakes. Show them how you would tell me how I need to do it. You gotta give them the whole whoop.
I have to do it every time, guys. I tell you, this guy here, he never listens. I have to show him the plays.
Oh, how you used to do it.
Yes.
Oh, this is great. That's good stuff right here.
Oops.
Come on now, we about to start charging you for the time you.
I got
Blade shot.
Go.
No.
Okay. Offense. We got the ball. Everybody lined up. Line up.
This is
Say.
awesome.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll tide.
That is awesome.
Yes,
That is awesome.
Yes, sir. I had to work on it with him. And at the end of the day, he became very great at it, guys.
Hey.
That was beautiful. That is awesome.
So, Ma, now that I have retired and you see great man like Bo, you see Jalen Hurts, you see all guys from Bama playing and chasing their dream and still playing today. What is your thoughts and your feelings when you see them be successful and still being able to chase their dream? And what's a message that you would like to send to them that you have always wanted to say, but you couldn't get close enough to speak to them or touch them?
Okay. First of all, I want to start out and I want to say, guys, always put God first and the rest shall follow.
Mm.
Okay. Always thank God for your blessings. Okay. Start out your day talking to God and thanking Him for the great opportunity He has blessed you guys with. Every single football player that I know, all my sons, I am so, so, so extremely proud of you guys. I have watched you guys from y'all freshman year all the way up to being the great successful men that y'all are today. Y'all started pushing hard, whether it's football, whether it's your own talk show, whether it's Whatever you guys are doing in life, you guys are doing it, and you guys are doing a great job. And I am proud to be a part of you guys' life. I am proud to be a part of you guys' success. I have saw you guys do so many great things. Not one time have you guys ever let me down. And I want you guys to continue always know and remember Miss Bernice Dorsey really, really love you guys, and I will always be your mother. I will always have an open ear, a shoulder to lean on. Y'all got my phone number. I'm always picking up my phone. You come to Atlanta, you always got a place to stay. I don't love not one of my sons more than I love the other. I don't love Blake more than I love any other one of you guys. Bo, Christian, Trent, you know, and I know you guys got the same love for me. We all want one big happy family, and I just thank God that He blessed me with, a group of guys, you know, like y'all.
Man, thank you. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, we need to hear that I'm proud of you message, just to keep us going and, to give our life inside. Because, in the position that we in, people always assume that we're okay, that we're good. But in reality, that we're not, because we don't have the love and support from enough people to keep us going. And sometimes we have to self-motivate ourselves, because like we don't hear the I'm proud of you as much as we should, because of people always assume that our head space is in a good space because we successful. But money
Mm-hmm.
make you happy, you know what I mean? Like it can't buy you a relationship, it can't buy you happiness. It, and it can't, and money can't give you a love and affection the way how you and the rest of the parents does. And I appreciate you for, even, what I'm saying, coming on the show and saying that you're proud of us for everything that we have done. And it's
Yeah.
been it's a blessing, to be able to receive that from you. And I really appreciate you. And, you know, keep me in your prayers, because I know you pray a lot. So,
Uh,
3 times a day, make sure you mention Bo in it. And
yes. Always. If you ain't
yeah,
got
thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It means a lot.
out every Wednesday, man, y'all be having me cracking up. I don't miss a show. I'm in.
Yes, Christion Jones probably had you falling out your seat, huh?
That kid there, I tell you, every time I'm around him, I told him he gonna give me a usher.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, we're gonna start winding it down, man. For the closing point, could you guys tell us what y'all have going on and what you got coming up next? Here in a week or two. I'm gonna start with you, Blake.
All right. What I got coming up, man? We got a 7-on-7 tournament this weekend in Birmingham. Our 7-on-7 did good last weekend. Also, we got spring ball coming up. About to make that happen, and also coming up, have the date here very soon. We'll have a full Alabama running backs camp with Trent and Bo and some more players, and we're just making it happen, man, and just touching every soul that we can and making everybody smile, man. And if anybody ever needs me to speak or talk or just touch one kid, man, please use me. Let me serve the man upstairs the best way that I can, and
Yes.
yeah, man, just keep on pushing and stay strong. And because sometimes God throws you challenges to see how you gonna react to it, so He
Right.
can know how big your next blessing can be. Because it gives you $500 and somebody steals it from you, and you get mad and go beat somebody up. He's gonna be like, "How can I give him more than $500 if I know he's gonna hurt one of my kids?"
Right.
So, man, just look at every situation right and keep pushing, baby.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you, Justin.
What's up? First of all, Blake, did you have a life verse that you used during your time at Alabama and even still to this day?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I was just curious about that. But yeah, folks, stay tuned to the Bama Standard. Of course, we're doing our thing on this channel with Bo and Blake's show. Man, it's growing leaps and bounds, and we appreciate everybody in the audience for making this one of the top shows on YouTube. If you missed the show last night, we had the great Bobby Humphrey on. Catch that replay. Actually, I'm going to upload it to this channel, so be watching for that, and definitely support this channel. We are now over 4,000 subscribers on this new channel. It's only been up and running for about 4 months, y'all, and that's because of the hard work of these gentlemen here and the fans we have in the chat. But yeah, just keep up with what we're doing. This channel's growing. Keep up with our main show that's on Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. But oh yeah, if you didn't know, if you're living under a rock, we've been invited by the University of Alabama to appear at the Paul Bryant Museum 2 days in April. That's April 25th and 26th. The Bama Standard will be on Tuesday night, and then Bo, Blake, Trent, and Christian's show will be on Wednesday night, the 26th. Come there early so you can get a chance to see all of us do our thing live. But that's what I got right now.
Great.
What about you?
Yeah, what about you, Miss Dorsey?
Yeah,
What you got
best for last?
Got coming up next?
Just continue to being a supportive, loving mother, praising God, working hard, staying humble, and just keeping an open heart and open ear for loved ones. That's about it.
Thank you. Well, we enjoyed your time here on the show this afternoon. We appreciate your time. We know time means a lot in this world, and we just thank you for taking the time out your busy day to come on here and give some advice to some of the players and some of the mother that is watching that is going through the recruiting process that Blake went through, and that you gave them a little knowledge on, that we hope that they take and they use this knowledge that you had given them tonight. So we appreciate you for coming on tonight, and I just want to say God bless you and roll tide.
Yeah, God bless. Roll Tide.